Hi, friends. Welcome back to another live tarot reading from Juno Jerome Intuitive Arts. My name is Juno, and we're going to get into the energies for the week. We're going to figure out together what to expect for all of the zodiac signs. So we'll dive into your sun, moon, and rising signs. So if you're catching this in post, go ahead and go down to the description section of this video. You can find a link to where your sun, moon, and rising signs are in the reading. So go ahead and click those if you get there. And we are going to get started. So before we start, I'll just give you a little rundown of what's going to happen. First, I will do the zodiac signs. Then we'll do a group reading. And then if anybody is still hanging out and wants a quick little mini reading, I can give those out as well. Before I start, I did another channeled messages with automatic writing. This one's a little shorter than some of the other ones I've done, but I'm feeling pretty good about continuing to add those to the reading. So we'll start with that. I'll read that first, and then we'll dive straight into the tarot. So let's see these messages. I'll read it to you now. Today is a moment of reflection on self and love. If you choose to tune into this frequency, there's more to love than romance, and the love that you share with yourself for yourself can be an important piece in the puzzle of your life. What is your relationship with yourself? Is it one built on a foundation of trust and respect, or is it something else? Without clear understanding, sharing unconditional love with yourself always can be an important first step in the direction of true ease through life, because the more you can build yourself up from a foundation of love and trust, the more you can find a sense of peace from moment to moment. So that was, I really like that one. So I do think as we tune into the energies this week, I think self-love is going to be really big and probably something that we'll tie into for all of the signs. So we'll find out. We're going to dive now right into all of the zodiac signs. So we're going to start out with Aries. So what can my Aries sun, moon, and rising signs expect this week? Aries, sun, moon, and rising. I need one more card. Okay, Aries, what's going on for you this week? So for my Aries, your main card is the King of Wands. So Aries, you're going to be feeling really open to the possibility of continuing to create what you want this week. You're going to be feeling as though you have the ability and the power to make things happen in a way that maybe you haven't felt in a minute. With the King of Wands, he is deeply powerful manifester. He can make anything happen that he needs to. But beyond that, he also has an extreme amount of confidence in himself and in his abilities. So meet yourself from a place of confidence this week, Aries, sun, moon, and rising, and that's going to help you get things done. By being confident in yourself and in your abilities, you'll be able to channel that energy and to make things happen. With the Seven of Pentacles, I do think there's continued work. You're almost ready to harvest something this week. And so the work will continue, right? Because you're not quite at the harvest level yet, but you're really, really close, right? So keep putting in the work because you're seeing results. Things are working. It's only a matter of time before whatever you're trying to do works itself into a completion. So keep working. Finally, with the Seven of Wands, I think you are going to be feeling as though you're overcoming some struggles as well. So for my Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs, you might still be in some kind of struggle energy here with that Seven of Wands, but you're finally coming into the upper hand. You're gaining the upper hand in a situation, and you're coming out of a feeling of stalemate. It's less that you are stuck in the battle and more that you are beginning to overcome the situation. You're beginning to come into a sense of clearing and gaining the upper hand. So this week you'll be feeling more like you're in the upper handed energies and less like life is just dishing you things that you can't handle. So Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs, I hope that that's helpful. We're going to move on now to Taurus. So for my Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs, what can my Taurus expect this week? Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising? What can Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs expect? Okay. Okay, Taurus. So you have the Page of Pentacles. So, Taurus, you are taking the time to work out a situation this week. You're actually taking the time to uncover the beginning phases of understanding how to make it through something that you're going through in your physical world. So there's movement happening in your physical world. You're learning how to change some things in your home environment a little bit, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to really get the outcomes you've been looking for. With the Nine of Pentacles, you're really seeing results in this too. It's like this new start in your physical world. So maybe a new home potentially, or even just like moving around the furniture, right? Rearranging your furniture, whatever it is. You're kind of coming to this like really wonderful, open home environment, cozy energy this week that's going to help you feel as though you can get things done. You can accomplish your tasks easier this week. You can make things happen by having a calm, clear home environment, and that's going to help you feel really like you can start to make some headway in something. I think you're overcoming. You know what? I think what's important here is a perspective shift for you, Taurus. So just don't focus on the things that aren't working, right? Focus on what you have tangibly. And especially if you feel as though you're overwhelmed by intangible things this week, Taurus, so anxieties about the world or fears about what's going on outside of your life, just remember your own personal life can be an oasis if you make it that way, especially with this Three of Pentacles as well, this like building a strong foundation for yourself. You can make your home life this like beautiful retreat on your own energy that you can come back to at any time. And by tuning into that, it makes this external world craziness a little bit less intense. So I think that by really embracing your own cozy personal home environment this week, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, that's going to help you feel like you're not being overwhelmed by the world as much. Yeah. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that that's helpful. We're going to move on. Next up, we have Gemini. So what do my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs need to know this week? Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Ooh, going across the room. Hey, Kristen, welcome. Taurus rising, my home is my sanctuary, and absolutely in the cozy vibes. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's classic Taurus energy too. That's cool. All right. Oh man, Gemini, you got a lot of cards. All right, we'll take them. Okay, so Gemini, what's happening with you this week? Well, first of all, this card flew across the room. It's the Five of Wands. Okay, so Gemini, you might be feeling a little bit stuck this week. So we'll address it. We got a lot of cards, so we'll tell the story. Something's going on this week for my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, where you're in a bit of a struggle energy, potentially. That doesn't mean that things aren't good. It just means that whatever's going on is leaving you feeling as though the battle continues in a stalemate, right? You have stalemate energy. And that stalemate is coming from a place of dealing with other people. I think in your external world there might be some kind of potentially, take it as it resonates with you in your life, but some kind of struggle with other people this week. Maybe at work or maybe in the home or wherever, right? There's just like a little bit of a battle with others, and it doesn't have to be like a huge battle, but something's going on. This could be as little as like people just annoying you all day, right? Or something getting on your nerves. But it's making you feel a little bit like you're in a stalemate energy. So this week, for you to really kind of overcome this, you have some really great energy here. With the Knight of Wands, you're being encouraged to embrace your your inspiration, to take inspiration. So anytime that something bothers you this week, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, use that as an excuse to do the things that you want to do, right? So if somebody's bothering you, um, you know, distract yourself with your projects that you've been working on or something like that, right? Distract yourself by putting in work in different areas. Walk away from certain situations that seem to be really not in your best interest and start doing some other things instead, as you're waiting for things to cool off or something like that, right? So just like use that inspiration instead of letting something get to you and ruminating it in the mind. With the Queen of Swords, you're being encouraged to be very clear-headed and analytical through any kind of situation happening. So really cutting through the stuff that isn't really good for you or isn't really helping you, the thought processes that maybe aren't so great, letting those, cut them right out, and instead embrace this inner sense of your own peace and calm, right? What do you need for your own emotional well-being, and let yourself take a new journey in emotional well-being? So if you need to, this could be external world too. This could be the external world, just like with the Taurus reading of like, you know the news, or the anything going on in the external world that's like too much for you. um by setting up this like stable inner realm for you this week, I think that's going to really help you feel good. And by the end of the week, you have the Queen of Wands. So this like master manifester, she's just like chilling, playing the harp here in this. So it's sort of like, I think, Gemini, if you take the time, maybe you're entering the week feeling a little bit anxious about something. If you take the time to walk away from the situations that are bothering you and let yourself tune into the beautiful things that light you up, I think by the end of the week you might be feeling really great, and this stalemate energy and stuckness could just be completely turned around just by working on feeling good. And with the woman playing music too, there could be like really good music that can help you too. So if you feel stressed or whatever, it might be a good time to do a little bit of meditation, listen to some nice peaceful music, and chill out while you let things cool off. And then by the end of the week, you might be feeling a lot better. So Gemini, I hope that that's helpful, and I hope you have an excellent week ahead. We're going to move on now to Cancer. I'm going to do a quick shuffle. All right. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can you expect this week? Cancer. Yeah, you know what? I think a lot of us have this going within energy going on, because Cancer, you've got the Nine of Pentacles as well here. And with that, you are definitely being encouraged to take some time to be on your own this week by yourself, and celebrate yourself here. You might want to check out the channeled message at the beginning from the automatic writing section, because it's all about self-love. And I think that self-love is going to be really important for you this week too, where, be really proud of yourself and your accomplishments, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, because you really do have some things to be proud of in your life, that by taking the time to acknowledge those things and celebrate those things for yourself, you allow yourself to feel really good. And I think by doing that, you have the King of Swords. So it helps your thinking patterns too, by showing yourself things that prove that you've done really good things in the past and you have some accomplishments. The more that you can do that, the more that you prove to yourself that you are this powerful person, you can cut away any of the thinking patterns that are telling you otherwise, and really kind of incorporate this wonderful, analytical, clear-headed action of the King of Swords. And I think with that too is sort of like allowing yourself to look at your mind from an analytical perspective could be helpful this week too, and not using necessarily the overwhelming emotions, but instead tuning into, well, what is the evidence-based situation going on, and by taking a look at your accomplishments, you can maybe feel a little bit better about yourself by saying, well, actually, look at all of these things I have done. I am perfectly reasonably worthy of love like anyone else, and especially I am. Finally, you have the Five of Swords, which I think is more of that energy. It's interesting. It's very similar to the Gemini reading, but with this one too, I think that, don't be distracted by anything going on in the outside world this week, because if things are happening that are stressful and a little bit too much and maybe overwhelming, just let it wash over you. Don't pay it too much mind, and come back to your own private garden, your own private self here, and building that private world of wonderful things in your own personal life. Take that and look at that, and that's the most important thing this week. So don't let anything bigger and stressful get you down here, and I think that's part of that King of Swords, is cutting away anything that's too much. If things are feeling overwhelming this week for you, if the outside world is feeling overwhelming for you this week, don't pay it too much mind. Find a way to come back to a sense of peace and calm in your own life, and just let the world do its thing, right? Take some time for yourself this week. I think it's going to be important. Okay, so that was Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to move on now to Leo. Just do a little bit of extra shuffling here. How's everybody doing? We got a few viewers. Welcome, welcome. Everybody, feel free to talk in the chat if you want to. We're just going through the zodiac signs right now, and then once those are done, we'll open the floor to some personal readings if you want one, or we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Okay, so next up, we've got Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do Leos need to know this week? Leo, ooh, that's good. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There we go. All right, Leo. You got the Magician. So this week, Leo, I think you're going to be really feeling like you can make things happen. You're going to be feeling, not only feeling this, I think you're going to be seeing evidence in your own personal life of you getting out there, running your magic, and letting it cause beautiful, beneficial, positive changes in your life for the better. And I think you're going to be seeing some of those changes start to come in here this week. With the Nine of Wands, this is kind of like the battle-hardened soldier. So I think you've been through some challenges in the past here. And this week, it's sort of like maybe feeling a little bit vindicated for some past situations. If you finally feeling like, no, this is where I wanted to be and I feel good about it and things are working, right? I think that there's a change coming up this week for you where you move into a place of feeling as though you have actual possibilities here in front of you, and not feeling as though things are too stressful, too challenging. I think you're going to be feeling like, no, I can make this happen. I can tune into it. With the Eight of Swords, I think it's interesting. This is a stuck energy. And I didn't feel that. I feel like maybe, I feel like what's happening here, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is the action that you can take, and the Magician magic that's coming in this week is coming to alleviate maybe somewhere in your life where you've been feeling stuck. And so you're going to be able to make some changes and some moves and really feel as though you have that possibility here to really change anything. So if you run into any situations, Leo, this week where you're feeling stuck, particularly, I think sometimes too, when we're moving through big spiritual understandings, or we're moving through lessons, or we're moving up to the next section, the next plane, the next time, sometimes what happens is the universe throws us a curveball where we feel stuck, where we need to apply those lessons to move forward. And so I think you might be thrown some things this week. Don't let the little things get you down, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, because you're the Magician and you can make anything happen. So take the time to move in whatever direction you need and let everything else go this week. So Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that's helpful. We're going to move on. Next up, we have Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Kristen, Leo, Sun, and Moon. Definitely been feeling stuck. Okay. Trying to work out the best way forward. It's like a mental block, and I can't get through. I'm so excited to positive mindset. Cool. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I would say definitely try to embrace the idea that, regardless of how you're feeling about feeling stuck, you do have the tools at your disposal to move in any direction. And sometimes that seems a little bit further from reality than we can realize. But I think this week there's going to be some things coming in to help you move in that direction. So just keep yourself open to it, and see those little tiny things as they pop in. Okay, so this is Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You have the Four of Pentacles. So I think, I think Virgo, you're going to be feeling the urge to play it a little bit safe this week. Whether you need to or not, I think what's happening, this is a reflection of a lot of the other readings. So when we get to the collective reading, I'll definitely try to mention this, but there's a big feeling of, the outside world being a little bit overwhelming this week. And it makes sense, right? We got the election coming up if you're in America. So like, it's stressful times right now for everybody, I think. So, just don't pay too close attention to whatever's going on, those circus outside. I think your instinct is going to be to like try to play it safe, try to go off on your own a little bit. And that's okay. Do that. Take the time to do that. That's been a big message for all the readings so far. So, but be a little bit weary though of taking it too far, I think is good. Don't isolate yourself too much this week. I think that's important because there's actually some really powerful and important insights that are trying to come into your life right now, Virgo. So I would say something about those insights, I think, is involving the external world in a way where you can't be totally and completely closed off if you want to have these insights come in. So just, if things are happening that are too much, play it by ear, walk out of the things you need to walk out of, and clear out the things that you need to clear away from. But ultimately, with that Four of Pentacles, I do think, you are safe. So don't worry about that. And, if you need to play it safe a little bit here and there, do it. But I think maybe there might be an opportunity to move in a different direction. So take the time and do that if you need to. So anyway, that was for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have an excellent week. Prairie Winds, hello, welcome. Hey, y'all, nice to meet you. Hope you're having a good. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday as well, and welcome to the weekly readings. All right, so we're gonna move on now to who's next? Next up, we've got after Virgo, we've got not Sagittarius yet, right? No. No, it might be Sagittarius, actually. Hold on. Sorry. I'm usually pretty good at this. Oh, no, I was wrong. Libra. Yeah, Libra. Okay, Libra. What's going on with Libras this week? Ooh, popping out. Okay, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right. One more. I'm feeling one more intuitively. Okay. So Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what can you expect this week? All right, you got the Chariot. Okay, so Libras, you're moving forward on something this week, definitely. You're taking steps, taking actions, and moving in a positive direction, which is wonderful. So really allow yourself to tune into the energies of movement here this week and let yourself catapult yourself forward in this journey that you're on towards whatever. Now, with the Eight of Swords, is interesting. I think what's happening is maybe there's a double down effect going on, Libra, where there has been a period of feeling as though you couldn't move forward with this Eight of Swords, or feeling stuck or feeling blinded to something. And so with the Chariot here, it's really kind of saying that you're moving out of that energy and moving into something different, which is interesting too, because we've just moved out of Libra into Scorpio season. I think we're in Scorpio season officially now. So what's kind of cool about that is it's almost like after moving out of your sign, you're freed up for some reason. So that's an interesting combination there. But I do think you're going to be feeling this energy of really catapulting yourself forward in a positive direction this week, which is great. You got two more cards. With the Five of Pentacles, yeah, I think that as you reflect over what's gone on, whatever was going on to make you feel stuck here or feel heartbreak or feel any kind of like energy of blockages, I think with the Five of Pentacles, there's an opportunity to really gain some powerful insights from whatever that situation was. So don't be afraid to take some time out for yourself this week. All the other piles have talked about taking some time alone. So I'm going to recommend it for you too, Libra. But with the Five of Pentacles, I do think that there's a period here this week of really kind of tuning into the spiritual and your spiritual wisdoms and insights and letting those lead you a little bit here, and letting whatever kind of spiritual connection you have be an opening towards something big and powerful for yourself this week. Finally, you have the Tower. So I think a part of where this energy to catapult yourself forward is coming from is whatever was holding you back and making you feel stuck is crumbling out of your life this week. And that, any kind of crumbling going on might feel like a shaking of the foundations and the deep bedrock within that, might be holding you up a little bit. But what's interesting though, I think, is whatever those are, even if those feel like things that were really important, they need to be shaken away in order for you to be able to move into this positive direction. So just if that's happening to you this week, if you feel like you are in that kind of situation where you are, there are shaky things happening in your life, things are falling out, things are falling apart, seemingly, have faith and trust that it's leading you into a positive direction. Because with that Chariot here, I do think there is a very beautiful positive direction coming from that movement. So just hold on this week if things are feeling a little bit crazy, and ask Spirit for help there too, because Spirit and spirituality is here to help you through anything, and I think that's important. So Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that that's helpful, and I hope you have an excellent week. We are going to move on now to Scorpio, and happy Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all my Scorpios out there. I do believe we are officially in Scorpio season right now. So hi, welcome. All right, so Scorpio, what can you expect this week? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Interesting. Okay, Scorpio. All right, first up, Scorpio, you got the Devil card. So I think it's important. I'll try to acknowledge this one right away so you don't have to worry about it. Just, be careful this week of any kind of bad habit energy, I would say. So, even if it's just little tiny things, you might feel a little bit tempted this week to fall back into some bad habits you might not want to be a part of. It doesn't have to be anything super crazy, but the devil is the thing that binds us. It's the thing that we feel controlled by, but are things that are usually actionable within our own lives. And so usually we have the tools and the power at our disposal to move through these kinds of situations and let go of these binds that might be holding us. And so there might be a few things coming in this week that are tempting you to fall back on old patterns that maybe you don't want to. And so just be aware of it. Just be aware of it. And if that happens a little bit, you can lean into your community a little bit more for help too, because you have the Three of Cups, which is celebrating with friends. So you have this beautiful, wonderful period of having a lot of fun this week, Scorpio. And maybe that's a part of where this Temple card is coming in, is it's sort of like, have fun, get out there, do cool things, have a good time, don't get too crazy, right? Or, keep yourself in a nice, happy balance. And I think that that's going to help you. Sujan, hey, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So, Scorpio, yeah, I think you got an opportunity here to hang out with some friends this week, have a good community moment, and get out there. With the Page of Pentacles, I think you might be making some changes in your physical world a little bit too. This might be a new beginning in where you live. It could be changing that up. I think with the pages, they tend to be kind of student energy. So they're about learning a lot of the time. So I think this week you're taking some time to learn about how to be more comfortable in your environment. And so Scorpio, I think that it's sort of like, as you have these friend relationships and you go out there and you have a good time and you try to avoid too much of a bad habit energy. I think you're also you take that as a learning opportunity, right? To learn how to build a kind of community and environment around you that feels supportive, it feels happy and healthy, and it feels maybe not necessarily negative. Ultimately you have the Four of Pentacles, which is like playing it safe and holding your cards close. So I think ultimately by the end of the week, maybe, I think you'll probably might be feeling like you want to have a little bit of a retreat energy as well, and kind of get back into some feeling of making sure your home environment's feeling good, that kind of thing. And if you feel at all overwhelmed in the external environment when you're going out with people, just remember, anything that you feel uncomfortable with, you can always walk away from. You can always move in a different direction. If you're in an environment that you're just not feeling, you could go home. It's okay. Right? You don't have to stay out with people if you don't want to, that kind of thing. You're in control here. And, people will understand in the long run if they're your really good friends. So anyway, Scorpio, I hope you have a great week. It looks like there's a lot of fun going on. Just don't go a little too far, right? Okay. Next up, we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can my Sagittariuses expect this week? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. All right. This one wants to come out too. Okay. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You've got the Eight of Cups. So interesting. Okay, so Sagittarius, you're walking away from something this week. You're moving on from something. You finally come to the conclusion that some of the things in your life are no longer satisfying your needs in a way that maybe they once did. And so this week, I think you're kind of maybe taking stock of where you actually are, asking yourself whether you want to be there or not, and walking away from certain things. I think you're going to be feeling like you have the power and the ability to move away from certain situations and things that might be feeling like they're blocking you or controlling you, and you're ready to move into a new environment. And that's coming in this week too. There's something brand new about your environment this week with the Ace of Pentacles, your physical world, money opportunities, job, housing, health. There's a new beginning in those areas and in those realms for you, Sagittarius. So take some time to do that. Take some time to walk away from anything. Let yourself feel like you can move in a new direction if you want to. Take the time to feel like you can change some things up. This could be as simple as rearranging some furniture in your house or in your apartment, right? Taking the time to change out the seasonal things. Maybe you haven't decorated for Halloween and you want to. I know, it's coming up, or fall, right? This could be putting up the fall decorations, or, changing the color scheme of your blankets, or, something silly like that. But I think that the more that you do that, the more I think you're going to be feeling like refreshed this week. And by the end of the week, I think you're going to feel really fresh. Yeah. And with the Four of Swords, you take this week as an opportunity to get some long needed rest as well. Don't push too hard. Don't feel like you have to make things happen this week. This is a week of rejuvenation for you, Sagittarius. So take the time that you need to rejuvenate and recoup your energies. Get an extra sleep this week if you need to. Take some extra time to yourself this week. I think you're going to be feeling really good by the end of the week if you do that. Finally, with the Ten of Cups, this is ultimate happiness. I do think it's ultimate emotional fulfillment. So I think by taking some time to rest, to clear out your energy, to walk away from some certain things, ultimately what you're moving towards is interesting. You have the Eight of Cups and you have the Ten of Cups. If you are walking away from some environments this week and you're letting things go and you're feeling a little bit hesitant about it, just remember that you're doing it because it's bringing you happiness in the long run, and that you deserve that. You deserve ultimate emotional fulfillment, and you can make the changes and the movements and the connections that you need to do to make that happen. So if you feel that you need to make those kind of moves for yourself, do it. It's okay. Because in the long run, it's bringing you a sense of joy and peace and contentment. That's really nice. So Sagittarius, Excuse me. Oh, that's my reading for you. I hope that it's helpful. Sorry, it's late where I am here. I know it's early for most of you, but I had kind of a late start today, so that's why I'm a little bit tired here. Okay, so next up we have Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can you expect this week? Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, we got the Queen of Cups. So for my Capricorns, I think that you are in a position to share with others this week your emotional contentment. So I think that there's things going on this week, Capricorn, where you feel really good about parts of yourself this week, I think. And when you're feeling good this week, excuse me, when you're feeling good this week, take some time to share those good feeling and the good vibes with the people around you, because I think that it's going to be really helpful for the people in your life to have that good vibes energy coming at them. And I think maybe some friends in your life need that. And so when you're feeling good this week, take the time to share. But it's interesting because you also have the Hermit. So, don't share too much either. That's funny. I think there is going to be a lot of periods going on this week where you're taking some time out to yourself and taking some time on your own, which is a big common theme this week for all of the piles. So that makes sense. So, don't be afraid to go off on your own this week either and get some long needed alone time. And I think maybe that's a part of this too, is like how you get to this like sharing of good vibes energy is by building the good vibes. And I think to build those good vibes, it's going to take you taking some time on your own. And that's the juggle that you have this week, because you do have this juggling card, the balance card. So you are balancing out some situations here in your life, where you're doing the things you need to do. You are moving in the directions you need to, but also getting the rest and the rejuvenation that you need as well. And I think that if you can strike that balance this week, I think you're going to be feeling really strong by the end of the week. Now, with the Emperor card here, it is reminding you that you are the emperor of your life. You are in control. You can make the moves you need to make. You can make the changes you need to make. Just know that whatever's going on, Capricorn, you can take the time to move in whatever direction you need and open yourself up to it. So, yeah, I hope that this is a helpful week for you up ahead here, Capricorn. And that's my reading for you. Kwanlada, it's almost 11 p.m. here in Asia. Thank you. Nice. Can't finish your live. Can't wait to turn. Okay, well, go ahead and tune in later on if you need to. Okay, you're welcome to. I'm here too. It's late for me too. I'm in South Korea and it's almost 1 a.m. So I gotcha. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Okay, so next up we have, who do we got now? This is Aquarius. What do my Aquariuses need to know this week? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Ooh, Aquarius, you got a lot. Okay. All right, interesting. Aquarius, you got the Tower too. So a couple of the other cards got this as well. So another common theme going on for us this week is things crumbling, things moving out of our lives in unexpected ways, uncontrolled ways, things moving around, shaking of our foundations. So if anything's going on like that for you this week, Aquarius, just know that you can move through it, right? You can move through it because you have the 10 of Wands, which is like overburden card, carrying too much. So I think something's going to happen this week, Aquarius, where all of the things that you're holding, all these wands that you're holding, these things you're trying to do, the overburdened energy that you might be kind of holding on to this week, it's going to be taken out of your life in some aspect, shaken out of your life. And it's good. I think you want that because you have the 10 of Swords, which is the burnout card. So I think what's happening this week is any situations that are going on that are making you feel burnt out, like you can't do things, like you're overburdened, you're over saddled with too many things. Some of those things are going to fall out of your life this week, and that might be shocking or destabilizing a little bit feeling that way, but just hold on, because I think it's for the best, because ultimately you have the Chariot here. So I think that, you know, what's happening is things are going to be moving and shaking out of your life a little bit this week, Aquarius, so that you're free to have this big, beautiful energy to charge forward towards the things you really want. And I think that by letting some of these burdens get shaken away, you're not going to be feeling as burnt out. You're going to be feeling like you have more energy to give to the few things that you're holding instead of holding too many. And because of that, there's going to be some really fast charged energy coming in this week that's going to help you catapult towards something even better and brighter and more positive in your life here. So take the time to allow whatever changes you need, to allow whatever movement you need, because by the end of the week, whatever's like shaken out here, I think, you know, it might be a little bit shocking potentially. I mean, it doesn't have to be. The Tower, it's a very dramatic card, but it's not always something catastrophic that's happening. A lot of times it's just some big change in your external environment, or even little changes in the external environment could be happening with the Tower too. So there's just some movement around, some changes, some things, you know, like a coworker has to cancel some group project you're working on because of some situation, and now you don't have that burden anymore. You know, it's like something like that, you know, where it's just like some things get shifted and changed, and then it's a good thing ultimately for you, because it's freeing you up to have the energy and the time and the availability to actually do the things you want to do, instead of forcing yourself to do all of these other things that, you know, maybe you do want to do them, but realistically, I don't know if you can all at the same time. And so the universe is kind of like helping you move in that kind of direction. Like, hey, maybe you can't do all this at the once. And so, you know, open yourself up to changing that up a little bit. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I hope that that's helpful. And I hope you have an excellent week ahead. We are going to move on to Pisces, the last one of the Zodiac readings. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do you need to know this week? Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And one more. Pisces. All right, Pisces, what do you got going on this week? Pisces, you have the Queen of Swords. So for my Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I think that there's going to be, I think you're going to have kind of like an idea. I'm feeling an idea. There's going to be like kind of a breakthrough idea coming into your life this week that clears something up. It clears up any kind of question. Like if there's any kind of questioning going on, I think there's going to be some kind of clarity coming to you, some kind of idea coming to you about a situation, about something. And that clarity, I think, is going to help you feel alleviated of some burdens. You have the Star here. So you're coming into an awakening after some difficult situations, potentially. This is a light shining in the darkness. So I think, you know, and for that, I'm feeling idea as well, epiphany. I'm feeling like for a lot of my Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Risings, there's some kind of epiphany coming on, some kind of like aha moment for you this week, where it's going to help you move in a new direction and clear your thinking up here. With the Ace of Swords, this is a new beginning in the mind. So a new thought, a new way of thinking, a new understanding. This new understanding is going to help bring you closer on your journey towards happiness in some capacity. So a feeling of contentment, emotional stability, emotional clarity, emotional well-being, you're moving in that direction with it being in the Knights. So this new idea, this new thought pattern, potentially, it opens you up to the ability to have this clear-headed thinking where you can then move in a more positive direction and not feel as stuck or controlled by past circumstances or things that maybe weren't working out. You have the opportunity to move in this new positive direction towards peace and well-being and happiness, and actually finding that happiness and it being concrete and real. And it all stems from changing your perspective a little bit, allowing a new perspective to come in and taking the time to feel good about that. So anyway, that was Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope you have an excellent week ahead. And we are now going to move into the next part of the readings. So I'm going to do some super quick general readings, but if you would like a quick 1 or 2 card personal reading for free. I'm going to be giving those out right now. So we have 6 viewers in the chat. If you want one, please let me know in the chat. You can type your name or just say, I'd like a reading. And with that, please also give me a question. That helps me out too. So tell me, I would like a reading, and put a question there. I'm going to do the collective reading, but while I'm doing that, go ahead and I'll just get to everybody in order. All right, Kristen, you're on the list. Kristen, if you have a question or you have something specific, please let me know. We're going to do collective first here. So what does the collective need to know? What's going on? Collective readings. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, that was the one that came up a lot. Okay, so collective. What do we need to know this week? We are in a moment where there's a real importance to not focus too hard on the external world. There might be a lot of fear energy going on in, the outer world. I feel like it ebbs and flows, but social media land might be a little bit fear mongering this week for us. So there's a real encouragement to not get stuck in that, right? Not get stuck in the news cycle and the fighting and all of that. Like it can be really overwhelming sometimes. So, just do what you need to do, and go back home and play the piano, like this beautiful card here, right? Take some time to, be out on your own, and not be too, too stuck in the energy of, oh my God, I can't believe what's going on, and it's too much, and it's blah, blah, blah. Just like tune out what you can tune out, just jam out to your own music, and, don't get too lost in social media land this week. The Chariot came up for a bunch of cards as well. So I think we're going to be feeling a fast opening. The energy this week is a fast moving energy. So I think it's going to feel really dynamic. There was a lot of different kinds of change cards. The Tower came up a few times. So I think that there's going to be some powerful big changes going on this week, either in our personal lives or in the rest of the world. Cool. Ayush, welcome. So yeah, so if anything's going on, that feels really fast, anything you can do to help ground yourself in the moment, I think will be really helpful for you. With the Wheel of Fortune, I think that this week we are going to have some good luck. There's some good luck happening this week for all of us. So tune into it, look for it. It might be really small, but if you have some good luck here, take it going on. Rhea, welcome. So yeah. So take some time to feel that luck energy coming up, and that's great. All right, 2 more cards here. With the Emperor, I think that we are in a powerful moment this week to remember that we can make things happen that we need to. So if you feel stuck, or you feel lost, or you feel out of control, you are the driver in this lifetime for you. And so don't give your power away to anybody else. Like, you're here in the driver's seat, and you can move things and make things happen. So take that on. It's good. Last up, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's a new beginning this week for us collectively on feeling like our material world is moving in a positive direction, which is great. So, this might be a good week to change up some things in your house, right? Maybe move the rooms around and get a new something. Make your home environment feel fresh this week. I think if you can do that, I think you'll be feeling really good about yourself. All right, so a lot of people in the chat have asked for questions, which is great. So let's see. Right now, the order that we've got. Kristen, you said you wanted one first. Okay, good. And you have just gave a question. Great. So we'll go with Kristen, then Kwanlada, you're after that. And that's cool. You lived in Seoul. That's great. Yeah, I live just south of Seoul. That's awesome. Okay, and then Rhea, I have you on the list after that. And then Ayush, we've got you after that. So, okay. So, Kristen, you're up first. I'd love a general career reading, money matters, abundance, etc. That type of vibe. Okay, so let's see what's going on with your career right now. Kristen, what's going on with Kristen's career? What are some advice and some tips for Kristen on money making understandings of things? Okay. All right, so Kristen, the first card that came out is the Seven of Cups. So I feel like, you know, you got a lot of options, and I feel like those options might be a little bit overwhelming. So, you know, I think there's a lot of things you could do. I think that there's a lot of things that you could do well, and maybe there's a lot of things that you want to do. And so I think because of that, it's sort of like you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed from that a little bit. And so the advice is sort of like, um, you know, you got to start as the page here with the Page of Pentacles. So if you do want to start a new thing, if you want to start a new money making venture, I think that there's a really good possibilities in that. But I think it's just going to be about like choosing something and sticking with it for a while, and understanding that, you know, it might take a while, because of that page energy. You know, that's the student energy, which is okay. You know, we start somewhere, but you know, with that strength, I think that you're strong enough. You got the strength card here. You're strong enough to be able to make any kind of money making venture work for you. So, you know, if you're in a job right now that you don't like, or you want to move into something different, I think there are a lot of options for you, to do that. So I think, you know, just exploring what your interests are and taking the time to choose one thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to do everything. Student energy. I'm thinking about staying in new course. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, you know, you have a student card here. Although the thing is, though, it's a student of the material world. So it's not, you didn't necessarily get like going back to school cards, but you know, you know. The biggest thing though is just with that Two of Swords is sort of like just make a choice and stick with it for a while. And I think that that's going to help you feel like you can really do something, by tuning in and moving in that direction, whatever it is. I think that that's going to be helpful. So just like choose one thing at a time and go for it. And you have a lot of potential here to really kind of move things, and you're strong enough to really make it happen. So yeah. Okay, Kristen, awesome. I'm glad that was helpful. Okay, we're going to move on. Who do we got next? Next up was Kwanlada. Are you still here, Kwanlada? I think you're up next. Did you put, you did. You said, I'm not sure. Should I try to study a new thing around this time, or stick with what I am studying? Okay, so stay with what you're studying or choose something new. We'll do, I love that. We'll do two. So this side's going to be stay with what you're studying. What happens if you stay? Okay. And then this is what happens if you change. So stay, change. Okay, what happens if you change? All right, so if you stick with what you're studying, you get to this feeling of like really being able to pull it off, right? The King of Swords, he's like very, very smart. He's at the top. He's at the top pinnacle of this. So, you know, there is really something to be said about sticking with one thing and really knowing as much as you can about it. So, you know, that's very encouraging to see that. With the Eight of Pentacles, you know, it's putting in hard work. So it might take some time, right? Like with the studying one thing, like, you know, you got to keep putting in the work and putting in the work. But I think you've put in a lot of work on this area already with this Eight of Pentacles here. And so it's like you're almost ready to harvest. So, you know, keep doing that work because it's going to lead to something here. And don't worry about what other people are saying with that Five of Swords. So if there's some kind of outside influence telling you why you shouldn't be doing the thing that you are, and that's a part of where this is, like, don't listen to anybody else, right? You got to make your own decisions for you. Like what you want to do is fine. If you want to change it, you can. But you know, if you stick with it, like you really have the ability to to gain this higher learning and wisdom in this area that can be incorporated into your life in a really positive way. Now, if you do change what you're studying, you know, with the Eight of Wands, that is fast moving energy. So, by changing, I think that the move will be really swift. And you'll be able to harvest something out of it too. The Seven and the Eight of Pentacles are really, really similar. So it will also lead to something beneficial. So it doesn't feel like it's necessarily a bad move to change. You have this swift moving energy here. And ultimately the Strength card. So this is actually changing is a strong move. Now it's just going to be up to what you want, because you've already put in a lot of work, I think, in this one area. So, you can always try to finish things up in one area and then move on to the other if that's what you want. But I don't think either choice is wrong, honestly. They're both very comparable. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Ultimately, the work that you put in will mean something. So that's good. Okay. Quandala, I hope that was helpful. These are kind of just short little mini readings since they're free. So I appreciate that. But I am doing a drawing for a free in-depth reading on my website. So if you would like to enter that drawing, you can find a link in the description section. That's way more in-depth than what I'm doing here, but that's great. And thank you so much. Yeah, Seoul is very beautiful. It's cool. I was just hanging out there all day today. It was great. Okay, so next up, Elif, I did see your question and stuff. So you are on the list, just letting you know. There's a couple people ahead of you, just so you know, but stick around and I'll get to you. We just finished Quandala, or Quanlada, sorry. And next up we have Rhea. Okay, Rhea. I have a busy November, but my first thought is I have a trip to Japan in the middle of the month. Can I get on a card on that? Okay, so you're going to Japan. What's that going to be like? What's your trip to Japan like? Okay, interesting. Well, first of all, it's interesting. You have the Four of Pentacles, which honestly is a really good card to get for traveling. I have a deck. Yeah, funny story. One of the decks that I have has the Four of Pentacles in a special pattern that I've turned into a travel charm for myself at one point, where I put it with all of my luggage to keep myself safe on the travel. So to me, this card coming in is just to say, this is a safe trip. So don't worry if there were any worries. You have none. This is going to be a really safe, positive trip. So that's great. Interesting though, with the 10 of Swords, you might be really tired. Especially if this is a whirlwind trip. It did say you're really busy. So, be careful about pushing yourself too hard with that 10 of Swords. To me, that's just saying, a lot of times it can be a burnout card, but you are safe on this trip, so don't worry about that. I just think, don't try to do everything on this trip if you can help it, right? So focus on just doing a few little things and maybe not overextending yourself too much, because you might be really feeling it in the long run. Finally, you have the Judgment card. So something about this trip is going to be really impactful for you in transforming your perspective on something. So sometimes travel can really open up the mind and give us a new way of thinking about things. And, even just thinking about our own lives and our own pasts and stuff differently. So something about this trip is going to do a little bit of that kind of thing for you, where it opens up some kind of new perspective on yourself and on your past, where you can look at things a little bit differently, which is interesting. I don't know if you've been to Japan before, and maybe this trip helps you see Japan differently, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to put my own thoughts on it. I mean, it's up to you and how you feel about it. But I do think there's a bit of a transformational vibe coming from this, where it gives you this new perspective or open-mindedness that maybe you haven't had before. So yeah, anyway, I hope that's helpful. And like I said, I got to make them little short readings. But yeah, I think you're going to have a good trip. That seems really good. Really positive, ultimately. All right, next up, we've got Ayush. Ayush Joshi. All right, Ayush, you say, I would like to know about abundance flowing in. What's blocking it? How can I allow it more and or expect it? Okay, so we'll do what's blocking your abundance and how you can let in more. All right, so what's blocking? Okay, there it is. I want two though. Okay, and how can you let in more? Okay, interesting. All right. Okay, so Rhea, this makes a lot of sense. I was a bit worried about earthquakes. Ah, okay. Yeah, so glad to see safe. I will be super busy. Be careful of burnout. Yeah, yeah, nice. I like new perspective. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, no, that the safety card being first on the list, I think, was probably the most important message coming to you from Spirit on that one. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. You're gonna be okay. All right, so Ayush, what is blocking your abundance? It's interesting. You have the Hanged Man, which is a stuck energy, and then you have the Knight of Swords, which is movement in the mind. So I think these two together are kind of telling me that one of the biggest things that's blocking your abundance is probably some self-limiting perspective that's going on. So there's something blocking you from maybe seeing opportunities, and a part of it is your own thinking patterns. You know, with the Hanged Man, he kind of put himself up onto this tree, but he did it to learn some new perspectives and things. So it could be, first of all, you might be in one of those situations where subconsciously you think that there's some kind of uh benefit to not having money, or like, or a negative of having money. That could be a big subconscious block to abundance, is sort of thinking that anyone who has money is evil, that kind of thinking. And then that means that you don't want to take it on, or that it's like I don't know, what's the word, saintly kind of thing to not have money, right? That there's poverty, the idea that poverty is like some kind of spiritually enlightening kind of thing, which, like, maybe, but also, the world that we live in right now, like, that doesn't really help us. So I think that there's a little bit of um that's weird. Hold on, sorry. Tarot Destroyer, that makes a lot of sense. Rhea, did you write that, or is somebody just copying and pasting your comment in the chat? That's weird. All right, well, hey, thank you so much. Enjoy this. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, we got a bot. I think we got a bot in here, but that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the chat. Okay, so yeah, that's weird. Somebody's copying and pasting the comments. Strange, strange, strange. Can I block them? Maybe I can block them. I'm putting you in a timeout, Tarot Destroyer. You're not destroying my chat. Thank you. Okay, let's come back to Ayush. All right. So I think a part of what is going on, like I said, is that you might something about your mindset, I think, is what's blocking the abundance. And it's probably subconscious, right? It's probably a subconscious thing. So how do you get out of that? Well, you've got the Hermit, so there's a sense of really taking some time to get to know your own mind. First of all, I think that's going to be the most important thing for you, knowing yourself deeply, inner connections. What are your thought patterns, what's going on, doing some kind of like shadow work and stuff. Whoa, shoot. This person is like really yeah, I gotta report this person. Hold on. Damn. Okay. So, weird. So I think, I think what's really important for you is taking some time to let yourself see everything. With the Three of Swords, it's sort of like, you know, give yourself some time to investigate your thought patterns and let yourself heal any kind of emotional challenges that you've been through in the past and stuff that you never know what. A lot of times, subconscious blocks are things that the mind has done to protect itself. To protect ourselves, we do things, right? We put ourselves through um blockages to try to protect against you know subconscious things that have happened in the past, traumas. Not doesn't have to be like super traumatic experiences, but just the way that the mind works is like when we go through a negative experience, the impulse a lot of the time is to try to just like push things away, and it's a subconscious thing. And so when we do that, we end up blocking a lot of other things too. And so I think there's a bit um of an advice card to really take some time to really kind of unpack whatever's going on in the subconscious mind a little bit, because that might be a part of what's blocking that abundance. And then that's going to help you feel, because like ultimately, you know, the most important thing to get you out of that feeling like there's no abundant energy, um, is to realize that you have many, many possibilities ahead of you, and you have infinite possibility to flow into abundance, and that there are many, many pathways coming to you, as possibilities. But you can't follow those possibilities until you learn how to see them. And so to see them means to unpack any kind of subconscious patterning you might have that's keeping you from being able to do that. And a lot of times that subconscious patterning comes from past experiences of pain that our minds have just kind of put us in a loop on. So yeah, I hope that that's helpful. There's so much content out there about um, subconscious thinking and thought patterns in general. Um, and even like, I'm not a therapist, so I can't really speak to psychology that well. But, reaching out to a psychologist, if you have the ability to, can be like so helpful in working through anything. If you have anything that you're trying to work through, on that direction, because like the more that you can work through that kind of thing, the more that you open up your mind to the possibility that there are infinite possibilities, right? Yeah. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I went pretty in depth with you, but I hope that helps. Okay, so who's next? After Ayush, we've got I hope that is it still going? Okay, this is still going. The chat is frozen for me. I can't scroll up. Because it's on top chat. It's not live. Oh no. Oh shoot. I didn't realize they were really like, wow, they really screwed with the chat here. Okay. Hold on, everybody. I had my chat on, not on live, so, great. Let me just get rid of this jerk. Tarot Destroyer, why are you being such a jerk? I don't understand this. So crazy. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I don't mean to be taking so much time, but we've got a spammer in the chat, so I need to just really take the time. I mean, clearly they're just like flooding with their other accounts, but I just think it's important. Okay, so after the spam person, so weird. Yeah, Aleph, I think you are next. Sorry, everybody. Let me just try to remove these spam. And hello, Sunflower. Welcome. If you would like a tarot reading for me, I'm giving them away for free right now. So go ahead and put a question in the chat if you want a reading. Sorry, I'm just going through and deleting this spammers crap. Okay. Like, why even do this? I don't even understand. I kind of want to like see who this person is. It's so bizarre. I guess Tarot Destroyer. They really just don't like tarot readers, I guess. Whatever. Everybody's got their own thing going on. Okay, I think I got rid of them all. Okay, so let's see. Elif, I do believe you are next. Let me just double check what you said. Yeah, okay. Elif, will I be able to finish college? Okay, let's find out. Let's find out. Oh my God, pancakes now. Why are you doing this? Dang, I don't know how to fix this. I think we're just gonna, yeah, I gotta figure out how to get rid of this person. Does anybody know? Does anybody have any like how to deal with people like this? Thanks again. Good luck. Okay, good. See ya, Rhea. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know how to get rid of. I don't know how to do it. All right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna just at least finish. I'm gonna at least finish Elif's reading, and I guess we're gonna have pancakes in the chat. So, thanks for being a buzzkill, Tarot Destroyer. Your name, you're living up to your name, I guess. How many accounts do you have? I have blocked them. I keep blocking them. I don't understand. They must have like 1,000 accounts. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay. So weird. Like, why? Who cares? Why do you care so much to keep doing that? Doesn't make sense. All right. So, Elif, will you finish college? 3 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 7 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So, you got a lot of choices ahead of you, I think, with the 7 of Cups here. And there's something about the juggle of it all, where I think maybe, you have a lot of ideas of what you could do. There's a lot of potential for the kinds of things you could do. And I think that a part of maybe what's the hesitation energy you might be having, if you're feeling overwhelmed and like, is this even something I should be doing? And obviously it's your life and you can make whatever choice you feel you need to here. So will you, I think is really up to you. I study law and it's hard. Yeah. Okay. I understand that. The thing is, it's definitely a juggle here. Definitely a juggle. You're juggling a lot of things, but the 3 of Pentacles is definitely telling me that by building a strong foundation, you set yourself up for some really powerful things here. With the Queen of Wands, she's a master manifester. She makes anything happen that she needs to, and she can really go out and make things happen. And so, I think that it is, definitely a juggle, but if you really commit to it and decide to continue, it builds a very, very strong foundation for your life that is something powerful. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little different. Instead of a will you, I'm gonna do if you continue and if you stop. So we'll see what happens if you continue, and then what happens if you stop. So those are for continue. This is for stop. What happens if you stop? Okay. Because ultimately it's up to you to make the choice. So if you continue, you've got the Tower. So there's a big change happening in it. If you continue with it, it's almost like, you might have to change the way that you're approaching it for it to really work out if you continue. But the universe is going to be there to help you change things. So there's some real change, but ultimately, by continuing it puts it sets you up to have this like powerful start in the financial monetary realm, right? With that Page of Pentacles, it's like a promise of something really big and something really powerful. With the Five of Swords, there's always going to be some kind of like struggle with things, with anything. And it's no different than this. I think, it's probably going to be a difficult thing to finish, but ultimately by doing it, I think that you set yourself up for really, being able to have a strong future here with it. Now, if you decide to go, that's okay too. Like you can cut anything you need to out of your life, right? With that Ace of Swords, but you have the Devil card here. So it's a little bit of like, just be careful of like, why would, if you stop, why are you doing it? What are the reasons for it? Make sure that they're good reasons and not just it's too much, right? And if it's too much, it's too much, right? I mean, like, obviously I'm not telling you what to do, but you know by ending it, you do set yourself up to be able to overcome the struggle, definitely, with the Seven of Wands. So ultimately you can overcome the struggle and, maybe even decide to do something different. With the Ace of Swords, it can be a new beginning in the mind. So maybe leaving means choosing a different path of study, which could be a thing for yourself too. But just, if you decide to leave and stop, make sure that you do it for the right reasons, or reasons that mean something important to you, and not for reasons that that don't. Does that make sense? I hope that that's helpful. Final thoughts. Let me just do one final thought. Final thoughts. You have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. So, well, I think that it's kind of hollow to say this. So, I mean, I had to be really careful about the way that I say this. But there's a little bit of this struggle. Not that difficulty is something that we should downplay or, romanticize, but something through this experience and this struggle and the difficulty of it is actually building something really powerful in your life. It's like this is a really powerful life building situation that you're involved in. And so if you can get any kind of spiritual wisdom and from the situation, from your experience through this, take it, because I think that's a part of what's going on in this. Is it's building up this really strong and powerful connection to um, these larger life lessons, spiritual lessons of growth in your expansion as a person. And so by continuing this, even though it's hard, maybe finishing it and actually finally completing it gives you some kind of powerful gift of knowledge that you are capable of doing impossible things, that proves to yourself that you can do it and sets you up for a future where you're able to accomplish a lot of really challenging and difficult and incredible things, right? And it sets you up on this spiral of continuation of proving to yourself just how capable you are of being able to do these kinds of things. And ultimately, I think that sets you up in a really good way. So such good advice. All right, great. I'm so happy. I'm glad that was helpful. All right, so there's 2 people in the chat. So if anybody's still in the chat that hasn't gotten a reading and wants one that is not Tarot Destroyer, let me know. I could give Tarot Destroyer a reading. What does Tarot Destroyer need to know? I've survived my first spam attack. That was interesting. I liked the pancakes. I didn't like the poop emojis. Let's see. Tarot Destroyer. Got the devil. Well, yeah. Karma's a thing, Tarot Destroyer. You got to be careful out there, all right? 7 of Swords. Yeah, the interloper coming in to steal things. Steal our attention, right? But ultimately, the King of Cups. I think it's important to be compassionate with people. Nobody in the chat. All right, that's fine. Okay, everybody, we're going to end it here. If you made it this far, thanks so much. I feel good about ending in here. Yeah, I don't know if that killed the momentum or what. I don't think so. People came in and out. That's funny. So strange. That person came in multiple accounts just to mess with the channel. So weird. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an excellent week ahead, and I will see you in the next reading.